Many of you going through this course understand HTML well and don't need a lesson on the anatomy of a link. But my experience in the SEO business tells me that many small business people and marketing people within larger companies are trying to learn as much as they can about SEO. And many of this subgroup has a far weaker grasp of HTML. So I think it's worth spending a few minutes just understanding what a link is and how it works. Let's see an example. We'll start right at the beginning. Here's a web page with a bunch of links in it. And here's a link. In this case, Wikipedia colors links blue. Traditionally, links were blue and underlined, but the underlining has fallen out of favor, so often they're just blue or even some other color on occasion. CSS, cascading style sheets, can be used to modify how links appear to the user. And here's the code that was used to create this link. Now, the link tag is known as the anchor tag, and you'll notice that it starts with an open angle bracket and the letter A for anchor. In the early days of HTML, anchor tags were used for two purposes: to create links to things, but also to create targets. Tim Berners-Lee and Daniel Connolly, who wrote the original HTML specification, thought of links as two-sided things. A link had a beginning and an end. Today, the perception of a link is the thing one clicks on to go somewhere, but to Lee and Connolly, a link was double-ended. There was a beginning, the thing you activated, and an end, where you landed. And each end had to be anchored to a page, thus the term anchor tag. And in fact, although you're not supposed to do this in HTML5, in early HTML you could create the end anchor, in effect a bookmark, like this. Then you could create the other side of the link like this. Activating this link would take the reader to the other side of the link, the bookmark created with the name attribute, so you could create links within pages, not just between pages. Today we think of a link as being a single thing, what the user sees and clicks on. To Lee and Connolly, a link within a page was created by two pieces of HTML code: the thing that pointed to another location and the thing where you land. I use the term activate, by the way, because in the very early days of the web you couldn't use a mouse, you couldn't click. Instead, you'd see numbers at the end of links, so you'd activate a link by typing the number and pressing enter. Anyway, that's why link tags are not L tags, they're A or anchor tags, because in the original perception, links had to be anchored at each end. In any case, there was already a link element for a different purpose, but that's another story. So, back to today's links. I found this link on Wikipedia. It begins like this, with the opening and closing A tags. We can then put some text between the tags. This text is known as the anchor text. It's the text that the person viewing the page sees, that he or she can click on. And it's very important because it tells the search engines what the reference page is about. In this case, the search engines read the anchor text and know that the page it's pointing to is about HTML. Then we need to add the location of the page the link is going to point to, the page that will load when the click is linked on. We do that in the href attribute. This link has what is known as a relative reference. It doesn't specify which website the page is on, so the browser requesting the page has to assume the page being linked to is on the same site as the page containing the link. But we can also use absolute references like this. In this case, the link actually tells the browser which site holds the reference page. In this case, it's saying, get the page from wikipedia.org. Now, the link we got from Wikipedia also contains the title attribute. This is used to create the little pop-up box that appears when you point at the link. It's also intended to provide additional information about the link. Like this. In this case, we have the text HTML in the title attribute, so that's what appears when you point at the link. Many people put keywords in this attribute in the hopes that the search engines read them. However, they're almost certainly not used by the major search engines. There's a lot of conflicting information about title attributes, whether or not you should use them, but from an SEO perspective at least, you almost certainly don't do anything for links. So that's the basic format of a link. You'll notice all sorts of other things in links now and then, but for our purposes, these are the only pieces we really care about, except for the rel equals attribute, which I'll explain in the next lesson.